What's up, Ramblers? Your favorite CEO is back. And before we begin today's podcast, make sure you hit the subscribe button to never miss an episode. And follow Assistance HQ and Offsource HQ across all platforms to stay up to date on the latest content, updates, and more. And remember, if you need a virtual assistant, visit us at offsource.tech. Now, before we begin, a word from our sponsor. I want to talk about like getting unstuck, right? And I think that makes for some very great content, because getting unstuck is the same as almost getting started. And the issue is a lot of people don't know how to get unstuck or how to get started. And that's really what I've spent this entire, I don't want to say past 24 hours, but at least like a good chunk of this morning, right? And I was thinking about it yesterday, but I've really been confused or stuck on how I am going to move forward, right? So the website's done. We're going to be running ads, but I feel like I personally am not doing enough, right? And so I'm like, how can I be consistent every day, do something every day? And so what I started doing is really like taking a look, honing in and saying, okay, where am I inconsistent at? Where am I consistent at? What is the process? Why am I being inconsistent and everything? And then honing down on what is the actual things that need to be done. So here are the things that I'm doing and what I'm consistent in doing, but here are the things that I'm not doing that should be getting done. And I found that it's not that I'm not getting a lot of the things done, it's that it's taking me a long time to do a lot of certain things, namely editing content, because editing content just takes a lot out of me. But one of the things that I haven't been doing is creating content as much, because I'm taking so long to do the editing process. And I really haven't enjoyed, I guess, if you will, doing it and like I should have, or like I used to, and everything like that. So now all of a sudden it's just me, and things just feel a lot different, And so what my goal is to get myself out of that slump, and then by association, if you will, get you guys out of that slump. What's going on, Jasper? So that's really where I'm at, right? And getting unstuck or getting started is always difficult. So what I decided to do was I was like, I made a list of what has to get done, and I've narrowed everything down. And I know I say this a lot, but you have to narrow down what it is that you consider your scope of actions and responsibilities. I am focusing on just client acquisition, client work, and admin. I'm not trying to do anything else fancy. Yes, there's the marketing plan, but that's part of client acquisition. So everything surrounding client acquisition, everything surrounding keeping my clients happy or client retention. And then there's just small admin work, right? Focusing myself to those three areas. And when I focus myself to those three areas, I now can see, okay, I can block my time off for admin stuff. I can block my time off for doing client work, and I can block my time off kind of for creating content. Content is kind of like can literally be an all day thing, from doing a podcast session to, doing the editing to actually creating like memes and stuff. It's a lot, it's a lot. And it's one of those things that you really just kind of have to keep going with the flow and really enjoy. So what I haven't done, as I've said earlier, is I haven't done the best job at thoroughly enjoying my process. I love what I'm doing, but it's been kind of hard for me to like enjoy and love what I've been doing, and then showcase and show you guys how much I love what I've been doing and everything, because I'm slow with social media. I'll say that. When it comes to the speed of social media, I'm slow. Like I know how to use it. I know how to post and everything, but maintaining a personal social media is complicated. Like I don't know how people get so much content throughout so many platforms so quickly. Well, I mean, I kind of do, because it would be easy if I was posting the exact same thing on every single website. But I really have to contextualize, and that's what I'm like, where my focus is. Contextualizing per platform, and that takes a lot of thought, critical thinking skills right there. Because when you are just posting just to post, right? I could just post whatever I want throughout any piece, no thought process really needed. things are a lot easier. I don't have to worry about what I'm saying. I just have to kind of come up with a dope caption, and my audience is my audience kind of throughout. When you're doing business, especially business to business, right? Your platform changes. As your platform changes, your audience changes. And so your audience's thinking changes. And so they're doing a lot of different things. When people are naturally just looking at your normal Instagram or your normal Facebook and link and business page and like normal pages, not necessarily business pages, but when they're looking at your normal social media, it's for you. And you are you normally across all social media, so you're going to post the same picture, probably going to have the same caption. It makes it easy, especially if when you only have one thing to manage. You have to do one Facebook post, one Instagram post. It's almost like I have two of everything to post and I have to post it a lot. So I can't just share my Instagram story to my Facebook story, my Facebook story to my Instagram story. Like, I have to make the Instagram for the Instagram, LinkedIn for the LinkedIn, Facebook for the Facebook, Twitter for the Twitter, and contextualize each per platform. And that's really why I've been stuck. I've just been overwhelmed. And now that I've really created this process to become unstuck, it just opens the game up, right? So what I did this morning was I sat down and I just wrote. I blogged out it, not blogged out, journaled it, if you will. In a sense, I journaled what I was feeling. Why do I feel like this? What are my issues, right? I was like, okay, I'm feeling like I'm procrastinating, like I'm not getting as much done. Why do I feel like this? Well, I feel like this because I feel like the business should be further along, that we should have more of like a community, that more should have happened, right? So if that's how I'm feeling, and that's why I'm feeling like that, where does that bridge, how do I bridge that gap? So I said, okay, I have to build. Building doesn't come overnight. So let's get that out of my head. Like I wish I was further along than I was, but I'm not. So let's clear that up. I'm not. So now we have to get there. What is the action or mode of transportation for us to get to where we need to be? We already know. We have to get more clients. We have to put out more content. But how does that happen? So I narrow down, I sit, I think, I'm typing up, and I'm like, okay, I have to focus on just client acquisition stuff. What surrounds client acquisition? The marketing plan and putting out content. Putting out content is a multi-step process. The marketing campaign is everything is a multi-step process, which is where the overwhelming thing comes in, because it's not really just one thing, right? Creating content isn't just creating content. It's coming up with the idea, the information, the actual creative asset, the editing, the social post of it, like the actual content copy, and then actually scheduling the post and getting it out there. All that for just posting content, right? Everything requires like a multi-step mental attention to it. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna dumb this down per se. I'm only gonna focus on just getting this content out there. After I focus on getting the content out there, then I'm going to go focus on client work. After focus on client work, I'm going to focus on just distribution. And so I've decided to just really create a cone effect. Everything was once all over the place. And as things get more narrow, it makes it easier to focus on what has to be done. That's why I feel less stressed. I can't say that I feel no stress, but I feel absolutely less stressed with a plan of action in place. So I'm doing this particular live. This is going to translate to doing a podcast. I might do another podcast because I have time. I'm going to spend a bunch of time editing. Every so often I may or may not, get into, like say, hey guys, look what I'm editing. Check this out. Show people what our process looks like. Get into the business. Definitely go into more networking meetings. I'm now pushing one item. Speaking of pushing a new item, we have the new website out. So if you're listening, go check out the new website, offsource.tech. I don't care if you guys go check the website out anyway. I'm now super proud of the website. Go check it out, offsource.tech. I have to get the credentials so I can do a lot better. I can do my own maintenance and management and everything. But yeah, go check it out. the link will be in the comments and everything. Actually, I can do that right now real quick if you want. Guys, I definitely recommend go check it out, offsource.tech. I'm gonna pin that comment right there. Yeah, pin a comment. Go check out offsource.tech. Let me know what you guys think of the website. Give me some feedback. We're hosted through WordPress now. I still have some changes I think I would like to make, but I think I'll just personally make them over time. But yeah, that's what I mean by pushing a new product. And so the other thing is I'm going to be doing a lot more co-marketing. So I feel like because I don't do cold calls or cold emails, I don't feel like I'm getting the reach that I should be. How can I do a much better job at getting my name out there, getting the reach? And so I think what I'm trying to do is what I have done is come up with a much better co-marketing strategy. So we sponsor, this particular networking group called Happy Neighborhood Project, and milking them for the best, results that I can. Going into these, networking groups that I am and pushing the website and looking to connect with what I found the other day. Well, originally we were connecting with like business coaches, business advisors, and mentors and stuff like that, right? Perfect and great. But recently it was brought upon that connecting with co-working spaces is an amazing idea. And I didn't think about that before, but someone, mentioned that they would like to connect me with someone who owns a co-working space. And so I was like, oh, that's actually a really good idea. How can we partner with other people to get our name out there? And co-working spaces, where people that don't have an office, go into an office and kind of start working, is an amazing place to start getting co-working done, right? Start getting my name out there. So what I'm going to do is, outside of this list that I found, I'm going to expand my co-marketing into that. So that's my goal right now. So my cold outreach, my research is going to be around trying to find people to reach out to that can become a co-marketer or like an influencer to us. So I'm going to be doing a lot more like influencer strategies, like content and everything is all regular. But my goal now is to increase my co-marketing strategy. I already have my marketing strategy, but now if I can increase my co-marketing strategy, which is essentially just reaching out to people and trying to get like either, partnerships or doing sponsorships and everything, and then really tracking and accessing, getting the most out of it. And that's really what I'm aiming to do now. And you can do it too, So what would co-marketing look like for you guys? And if you are doing like nail tech, right? If you're a nail tech, a makeup artist, or you're doing hair, all of you guys can co-market with each other. That is perfect co-market. Like the perfect group of people trying to co-market with each other would be people in the fashion industry, right? If you are like I say like a lot. I'm trying to stop, but I also don't enjoy having white noise. I don't enjoy dead space. Like this bothers me. Like crickets bother me, right? So trying to just maintain a lot more fluidity. But I say the word like a lot, and I'm trying to get out of using that word. So I will probably be talking a little bit slower, especially as like my thoughts come to my brain, especially as I'm thinking. But anyway, back to co-marketing. It is best to co-market with people in your industry. So if you do nail, hair, if you do fashion, right, you do a clothing design, co-market with all of those people. Connect with other nail techs, connect with other fashion designers, right? So if you're a fashion designer, you should have someone who does nails, someone who does hairs, and someone who does makeup readily on hand that you work with and try to create content with, or you refer them business, right? So if someone buys a shirt from you, offer them a $5 discount to one of your friends' hair salon or nail shop. Why? Because fashion connects with fashion. People that get their hair done probably need their nails and makeup done, or they need their clothes, some new clothes. or they need some shades. So look at where your industry is overall in the realm of things. I look at where we are in outsourcing, right? So if you're a business and you need to outsource, that is what we specialize in. So how can we connect with other people who are outsourcing or outsourced resources, if you will? So freelancers, independent contractors, internet businesses. So I've been connecting with, like I said, co-working spaces, business mentors, business advisors, business owners, because even if they're not necessarily able to be a client of ours, business owners know other business owners. So you have to know who your target audience is and where you can find them, and then how you can access them through other people. If you run nail, hair, t-shirt business, you guys should all be connecting with each other, because all of you can help each other. Because guess what? Nail techs don't do hair, and hair people don't do nails. So it's absolutely nothing for you guys to connect. You literally cannot lose any business if someone says, hey, I do hair and you do nails, let's partner up. Every time someone gets their nails done here, I'll give you $5 towards getting your nails done with my homegirl. Drive and give each other business. And so that's what I'm trying to look to create in general for Offsource now. And that's where I'm generating a lot of my time. And that's where you guys can do it too, right? So if you were a lawyer, depending on your choice of law, if you were an estate attorney, I've been meeting a lot of those lately, connect with a real estate agent. You don't sell or buy real estate or anything like that. But if people are looking to buy homes, somebody that's looking to buy a home would probably need an estate. So that's my focus. I've been really honing in on defining my co-marketing strategy, and I think I can come up with some tactical tidbits for you guys for your own co-marketing strategy. Also, I think I might make this into like a little how-to post. Speaking of how-to posts, I'm putting out a how to use a virtual assistant. I'm going to be putting out a bunch of content around how to use a virtual assistant. The reason being is because a lot of people just don't know how to use a virtual assistant. And I was watching this podcast yesterday, or listening, both. But there was this guy, Sam Parr, he owner and founder of The Hustle, has a podcast called My First Million. And on the podcast, there was a dude called Justin Mayers. I think he runs like Kettle and Productivity or something like that, Kettle Space or something. I cannot think of it, the name of the company right now. Anyway, his name is Justin Mayers, and he was like, how he has increased his company's productivity is by hiring a virtual assistant. And so then one of the guys on the podcast at some point later on chimes in, and it's like, how did that even come to you? He's not good at, he knows he should be using a virtual assistant, but doesn't. He's not good at it. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to be putting out I'm going to put out like a bunch of content around how to use a virtual assistant, because I guess that's one of the others, like, fallbacks. A lot of people don't know how to use a virtual assistant and how to maximize, getting the most out of them. So that's like, I have to put out a lot of content, and that's the hard part, man. Like, content takes up a lot of time. And so trying to get, still get client work done, still get admin work done, and then still break into cold marketing and stuff it can be complicated, but it can be done. So I'm actually also in the process of building up my own team of VAs. So as I said, we're building a team of shareable employees. I'm reaching out to other VAs to I want to put together like a VA group. I think that's one of the things I'm going to put together, like a VA group, which will help probably with one, building community, but two, like having a pipeline. And I probably am going to manage 2 Facebook groups. And I need to get more people to get that stuff done. Yeah, because if I can outsource more of the work, I can get more content done. And I think everything can revolve around content and co-marketing if client retention is handled extremely well.
Hey Ramblers, that's it. Podcast is over. Don't leave yet though. If you enjoyed today's episode, Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast, and follow us on YouTube at OffSource HQ. We'll see you next time.